So while we have some new footage of Mario Wonder here, you are going to see that some of this also was revealed in the Direct or the Nintendo Treehouse Live. With this screen in particular, World 1 was Pipe Rock Plateau, and that was actually revealed in the Nintendo Direct. They showed a lot of the worlds off, actually, so maybe we can just kind of show that real quick. But Welcome to the Flower Kingdom is the first one right here. Difficulty, only 1 star. And I am going to put credit, this is not my gameplay footage. We're just going to be kind of going over to analyze this gameplay footage. So, of course, all that credit, top pinned comment, description, and all that. There is a new voice of Mario and a lot of the characters, actually. And so I've kind of been back and forth, so I'm a voice actor myself. It's like touchy ground. We all love Charles Martinet. We all are going to miss him. What a wonderful soul and amazing human. But sometimes companies just change for the sake of change, and I often don't like that. You gotta think, though, that a lot of the time you need change after you've been doing something one way. You think about how many times Mario has changed up via gameplay. Well, we're finally getting a change to the voice, and so all the details aren't out about why that happened. Charles Martinet once said in an interview, I think it was 2021, he said that he was gonna basically voice Mario until the day he drops. And so anyway, let's get back to the footage, though, you guys. We're in the Flower Kingdom, and something that they didn't discuss, we'll see this in a little bit and just kind of throughout, is that Prince Florian is actually, you could consider him like the Princess Peach, right? And then there's Poplins, they're like the little toads, you could say. But what I was gonna say was not really discussed, yet it was seen all over the place, was that Prince Florian is following you everywhere. So when you're playing in the game, you're gonna often see him kind of peeking over your shoulder or whatever, all your badges and stuff. But here you go, you're collecting the flower coins. That's the currency in this game. You can see in the top left, as you get those, these little shards right there are obviously 0.1, 0.2, like a little penny of flower coins. But here you go, you got the Wonder Seed, and we should actually cut back in editing just so you can hear it without me talking over it. But whenever you get the Wonder Flower and that Wonder sequence happens, you actually hear a voiceover in the back. It's going, "Wonder!" There, that was me impersonating it, I guess, but hey, as Mario, as the elephant, of course, gets on the flagpole right here, you're gonna see a Poplin comes out, and of course, there it is. There's the kind of first example I can point out, at least, that I didn't miss right here, was Prince Florian. And then, of course, with the elephant power-up, if you walk by water and stuff, you're gonna store water in your trunk, and so you can kind of use that for certain things. You don't really destroy an enemy with it, but a Goomba might be like, hey, what the heck? You hit a Goomba with it, and it's kind of think of Mario Sunshine with the flood in Smash Brothers. But yes, there they go. They drop down standees, so I think a lot of us know about that. But just in case you don't, really briefly, you or people online can actually drop a standee, and essentially anyone can use that if they are playing around it. If they die, then you can actually touch the standee as if you were touching a local multiplayer person for resurrecting, right? So you just get resurrected, and there you can actually send little emotes to people that are playing online. Why did we not just have a proper online, man? I don't really myself like how they did this. It's yeah, we have local multiplayer, so we can see that sometimes, but we'll see it in this video, actually. And one thing I should actually note about this video is that you are gonna see it kind of jumps around. Even if we're on the same level, it will occasionally jump around. Right now we're Blue Toad and we might jump over to be Mario or something, it'll just jump really fast. There's a variety of speculation you can have to why that happens, but a lot of the time media journalists that get a preview, here we are, we're Luigi, right? They actually have to observe an embargo where you only have, okay, you can only show 3 minutes of this or 2 minutes of that, and you can't be on the screen. I've done embargoes with Sega before where you could only have a 5-minute video, for example, whatever time. But here we are, Luigi now, like we said, and all the characters do play the same, with the exception, of course, if you are Yoshi, any of the Yoshi colors, or Nabbit. You guys probably know this, but just in case you don't, I like to kind of give the basics too sometimes. They will actually not get hurt, as we see Luigi getting hurt by this new enemy, a Skedaddler. So those are Skedaddlers, you guys. And now we're already going to another level. So this is Bull Rush coming through. Bull Rush is another enemy. You can see how it was spelled. It's B-U-L Rush, right? It's not like Bull, B-U-L-L. It's also difficulty 1 star right here. You can stand on the backs of some of the bigger enemies. And yes, that would be the Bull Rush. You are actually going to utilize the Bull Rush a little bit like that. Did you see that? We couldn't normally maybe hit those without a ground pound down or something, the bull rush hits the wall and becomes kind of knocked out for at least a temporary amount of time. You saw Mario right there. Things are happening too fast, but you can actually drop down items to give to online players too. So if you have anything in your item reserve there, it's in the top left. You can see where that A button is. That is your item reserve. Just like in Super Mario 3D World, you can call back any power-ups that you had in reserve and pull those back out just to use them at a later time or give to somebody, but boom! We have a crazy jump cut, you guys, and so that was actually revealed in the Treehouse Live. Maybe we can interject with their footage. You're supposed to wait for the bull rush to actually come through, so you advance forward a little bit, and there's some, as they describe, conspicuous, it's like suspicious-looking 4 blocks right there. They have a Wonder Flower behind them, and so you do utilize that bull rush, jumps up the ramp, hits those blocks out of the way, and that's how to get to it, you guys. So every time you get the Wonder sequence happening right here, aside from that voiceover that I did earlier of the impression, you also should, of course, know this. I think this is the most obvious thing about Super Mario Wonder, right? Is that this Wonder sequence, it just means that something is going to change dramatically. You know, it gets all crazy colors like this, and each Wonder sequence is actually different, you know, so they're all unique. You're not really going to repeat them, and so right here, we're kind of having a bull rush stampede, and it's insane. You just got to obviously be on top of them. They knocked down that first goalpost, which is fine. Flagpole, I should say. And so we are Daisy right now. Daisy, actually, first time she's playable, and now, of course, we're Mario Blue Toad. There we are. We're Blue Toad. And so you pass by. There you go. You get the Wonder Seed, of course, to stop that sequence. I'm telling you guys, these things are just called Talking Flower, and that's literally, it's what it is. It's what it's called. The Talking Flower is going to annoy the nut out of me, you guys. Maybe you guys think it's cute and everything. I do not like the Talking Flower. I wish it would shut up. So you'll see, of course, during the loading sequence for the level, they give you tips. So just think of like Pikmin 4, some Zelda stuff. Like this is a very common thing. You'll start out in small form for badge challenges, but you'll go back to how you were when you leave. So what you're going to see on the right side was an icon of a flower, and it's got the actual badge that we're going to be using right here. We're basically getting that badge in the badge challenge. So the wall climb jump sounds exactly what it is. You know, jump against a wall. You press B to jump straight up once. And so I believe, of course, your jump button is B naturally because you saw actually A. Now, most people will say, like, that's not confusing at all. Like, A button is totally not your jump. In some games, it is. It's just like in past consoles. I don't know. Everybody has opinions. They're all different. Try to respect them if you can, but basically some people will be like, no, that's not jarring at all, but hey, I mean, it's just Nintendo Switch buttons, the way they're mapped. B is the jump. So here you can see we are playing as Luigi, and obviously you hit the jump and then just press B on it once again, and you can actually jump up twice. And then we switch to Nabbit, wouldn't you know? Good job to the people that gave us this footage. They're making the jump cut, hopefully as the least jarring as it possibly can be, I guess. Notice that the talking flower is red here instead of that kind of like orangish color, right? Is that significant? I don't know. You'll notice actually when you do this kind of higher, the wall jump and stuff like that, when you jump up like that and use your badge, you're gonna see actually these little flower petals, and it's because I believe, just like we saw with the badge flower icon, like it's a flower looking thing, right? Well, that's like Prince Florian's head. There we go. You see Prince Florian's right here? His head is a little flower, and so I believe that's where you're sort of getting your badge power from, you know, so think of Prince Florian that way maybe. But would you look at this break time? This is trotting piranha plants. That's right. Gotta love the piranha plants. They're just trotting along, as you'd imagine. No, but that's just simply very, very easy. I guess break time is an opportunity for us to get some coins. You get a Wonder Seed. These are going to be very important for the progression of your game, is what they say on Treehouse Live. This is a new enemy, but has been revealed before. Of course, it's the Conk, and so it starts with a K. A Conk, kind of like a thwomp, I guess. But they can actually, like later on, break through jelly and whatnot. And so, yeah, don't get caught underneath them like Luigi just did. But here we finally get some sort of local multiplayer action right now. You obviously would have heard this before, but just in case, again, I'm going to mention it. Yoshi, aside from not getting hurt, any character in any power-up can actually jump on the back of Yoshi and ride the Yoshi right there. Kind of old school. Mario and Yoshi can team up again, but hey, you could be an elephant and it doesn't matter. Yoshi can carry him. Yoshi's perfect, you guys. The one thing that's not perfect is Yoshi's voice is also changing. Maybe some of you guys don't care. I don't know, but, you know, I just used to love, of course, I'm an old fogey, okay, you guys? I'm a child of the 80s and 90s, so I can just remember all the Yoshi. And so he does sound similar. It's just not quite the same. And maybe that's like Mario. I mean, again, you guys can all talk about the voice if you would like to. The people who have to voice these just super iconic characters, it's like try to imagine voicing the Looney Tunes, you know, like Billy West from Futurama and Ren and Stimpy and lots of other things. Many other things. But Billy West, for example, took over some of Mel Blanc's voices on Looney Tunes. And so, like, can you imagine, like, what genius Mel Blanc had to be with all those characters? And so to actually, you know, say, hey, I'm going to step in this person's shoes a little bit, but you can't quite just copy it exactly, or can you? Should you? Because people might be like, they really want it to sound exactly the same, or they don't. You know, they want it to be, hey, we need a little bit different. If you're going to change the voice actor, they can't just copy exactly. You know, so again, everybody has a different opinion right here. Those guys with the huge mouth up there, those are ma-mas. Ma, you know, like the mouth, the jaws, and they do get tired. So like that, if they don't get something in their mouth, I mean, they're going to try to just eat anything that's in their path, right? But if they don't get it, they just get a little bit tired. They stop for a second. And so you're going to see this is a wonder sequence where we all are going to be Goombas right now. Yeah, you got to love it, right? The wonder sequence, almost anything can happen, right? If your imagination can think of it, well, it probably can happen. So imagine being a little Goomba. You're sort of limited in your powers, I would say, but here you go. You got the Wonder Seed. All right, so that's going to go ahead and end it. And again, we're just sort of jumping through a lot of things. But yeah, this very kind of cupcakey, cloud-y looking level. If you essentially want to know about the Flower Kingdom, you know, that Prince Florian is presiding over, there are 6 distinct worlds that make up the Flower Kingdom. They circle what's called the Petal Isles. So ultimately, there's a total of 7 areas to explore. So here, let's actually cut back to the Mario Wonder Direct. So Fluff Puff Peaks, that's world number 2. That's, you know, obviously very likely what we're seeing here in the gameplay now. Well, I should say now we're leaving it in the footage. Blooms of the Desert Skies, you guys. I have to imagine the blooms are those green balloon looking things right here. Somebody else can correct me if we've gotten the technical name of this, but I think it was just on the Nintendo Direct. They said that this area was just like the desert. Like they didn't really name it specifically. And so is it just desert skies? You know, maybe again, you guys can leave some comments. But there's also going to be like a forest, you know, level world. A full moon could be quite a night. Shut up. So yeah, it's like, you know, you have the skies, you have like the caves and the Petal Isles. The Petal Isles actually also have underwater parts. And so I think here we're still at the desert, and like the mountains are the Fluff Puff Peaks or whatever we just said. And so I think these are the blooms. They can be different colors, of course, especially in this wonder sequence. Like, look, we're all balloons too. So that's the thing that I wonder about, like if you're, well, I wonder about Super Mario Bros. Wonder is that as we get these Wonder Seed or Wonder Flower powers and stuff, are a lot of them going to kind of mimic the enemies, you know? So it's like, for instance, we had the Bull Rush. I think they're going to like center around the like new enemy, you know, that's in the level, right? Especially when you first get introduced to it, like we had us turning into balloons, kind of like blooms. And here you go. We're going to see just kind of a series of a lot of the wonder powers here. So let's see it, man. It's all fun and games, I would say. So I think this is still Fluff Puff, right, you guys? That's got the, like, even the trees, you know, they have little sprinkles on them. They look like little cupcakes. This was another thing they mentioned in the Direct, the Treehouse, was that you could also, like, sometimes you're going to change your perspective. And yeah, Mario sometimes will become a pipe. This is just insane. Or like basically a big-necked Goomba. Look at that, you guys. Like, this is absolutely nuts. Y'all might have heard this, but when you get your little elephant power up, you're going to hear any of the characters say wowie zowie, you know, in their voice. So Daisy, very spunky. Daisy sounds a lot like it's her, I would say, normal voice actor, basically voice actor we've heard a lot lately. So like I say, probably not all of them have changed. It's just a decent bit. Mario, Luigi, Yoshi. So here's a look at your badges, right? So we do get to see these a decent bit, but you do have to select which one you're going to wear. That's for each level. And you can see in the bottom left, it says Prince's Choice. So that's letting the game pick that for you. And that may be good because it may be suggested for what's good for that level. Like, look at this. You know, this one probably could totally use the parachute cap. It should also be said that everybody's jump sound is a little bit different than the past. So just when you literally just jump, there's a tone that's also different from character to character. Maybe I can try to compile like edited footage where we can just get all of them. But we can cut ahead to one of the tips also. It says if you hold down B, which is your jump button, like as you hit an enemy, basically timing that right can make you jump a little bit higher. You know, we've seen that in other previous like 2D Mario games and stuff, so it can be a way to like jump on these Goombas and then jump a little bit higher, for example. They don't do it right here though. So wowie zowie, we're the elephant. Once again, this is, I believe this is probably going to be the first level that you play in the game. So you guys, please let me know what you think of the game. Are you going to get it? And thanks for viewing.